Oh, baby. We're back. All right, we've got Lightice versus Vato, the classic. The run back. There's not much time here on the first game. It's the first round of the first game. Looks like Lightice is just looking for an opening, get anything, so he doesn't get timed out. Vato pretty much won the round off of that. So that's a solid first round from Vato. They play a ton. This is like the most common final, winners and grand finals of SamSho here at Xanadu. These games tend to be like pretty intense, pretty close. Vato has pretty passionately, vehemently described Lightice as like his demon, but there's been a lot of times where it was like a very close match. The neutral between them is like pretty like slow pace, pretty dope. So we see Vato's still using Shiki, taking advantage of the overheads, a lot of her like mobility options. She gets a lot of damage, especially like off of the jump ins. It's actually pretty surprising. Like Shiki seemed pretty bad when in the first versions of the game, but she's gotten a lot of good use out of her options. And Vato, I think, uses her a bit better than a lot of other characters as well. So we see he's kind of been making this slow, like arduous comeback. Jubei's buttons are a little bit longer reaching. I would say that he's a lot more of a well-rounded character. For Lightice, particularly the way he plays this game, it definitely fits his style pretty well. This is really close. I would say that Vato has like a very mild health lead. No longer actually. Lightice now has a health lead. He's just kind of escaping. This is going to be Vato takes it at the last second to get game one. That was an amazing buzzer beater. Yeah, you can see Lightice wasn't exactly happy about that. He thought he had the timeout, and he might have even stopped hitting buttons as well. So we're going into game two. Vato definitely clutched out game one, and now he's going to get a ton of damage with the super duper. So we see here, basically every character has a super that they can use without using their rage meter. And as you see, it does a zillion damage. As well as they get one that they use through their rage meter, and if they pop their eSIM as well. So he used a super duper to give him a heavy life lead here. It would actually be very disappointing to not win this round here because it's a resource that you only get one per game. So now Lightice, basically his job is to waste that resource, right? He can take it, it's already off the table, but he can give himself a huge advantage by getting this round here. Like every round definitely matters. And he's making it very close, especially with these air-to-airs. Jubei specifically has a pretty good options there. So he went for the weapon flip there when he got the block. Mainly just if you're ever sleeping at the wheel as Shiki, then he's able to get some pretty good damage off of that. If you do like a crazy jump in or anything like that, it didn't work out. So Vato is going to get that first round mainly off of the back of the super duper. He actually he took a rough one there in neutral. But the neutral for Shiki is just a little bit harder against Jubei. It's definitely like a difficult uphill matchup to play. So Vato's been doing that very well. Both their rage arts went down. When you see that meter is full, that's going to be a big punish there. Yeah, when you see the meter is full, you're able to get a weapon flipping technique Oh, that's going to be a big damage as well. That's another place where when he gets that parry, like he did before he did the super duper last time, you're basically able to get whatever you want off on your opponent. Vato's doing really well with the run unders as well, just to kind of keep things close range, because at a longer range, obviously Jubei, he's going to have a little bit of a better time. You can see just having like longer weapons. Oh, that was a good DP. So you see that they're kind of playing the slow-paced game. Vato's just kind of trying to get any advantage that he can in neutral there. Oh, that was a good dodge. Just because he doesn't want Lightice to get any footing, any health lead for Jubei. It goes a long way against Shiki because Jubei is generally just going to get more hits. There's a good interrupt there on the weapon flip technique. Vato has a spacing like very good, especially in a situation where if that weapon flip were to hit when Jubei was hitting a button, that it was pretty poor for Shiki there. But he was able to block it again. So having his own weapon flipping technique, any confirm now can be like pretty spooky for the Jubei player. Going into the neutral, Shiki does have the life lead here, so Vato's just looking at kind of keeping it going. I would say that like here he just kind of keeps the pace exactly as it is, using a lot of kicks to keep Jubei back, as well as the light slashes, just to kind of hold him at bay. At this point, you just don't want. Lightice pops the Eason, just to kind of get the momentum back in his favor. We see like at this point anything could kill Lightice. Like Vato's going for like the death by 100 slashes, 1,000 slashes. Oh, crap! That Eason was really good. Okay, now like any hit kills, any medium will kill either character. Like two lights would kill Lightice. Vato gets the Eason popped, so now he has to be very careful. Any poke, anything could end up just being an Eason for the death. And same. And in a flash, it was like the startup of a slash that Vato was able to catch and go up 2-0 winners final. So we see the matchup's very difficult, especially if you're playing as Shiki, but Vato's playing very patiently, like very solid, kind of just catching Lightice with as many like tiny slashes as he can, and trying to avoid big damage like that. This is like a huge lead for Lightice going into the start of the third game. Just getting that throw punish, he was able to do nearly half health, which is it's a very spooky situation to be in if you're Shiki, because a lot of what you're going to be going for is much. He's doing great with the super dupers. Honestly, like those situations you can't anticipate that that's going to come out. And as soon as the first fireball came out from Lightice, Vato was able to react and totally flip the game on its head. This first round is almost as good as his, as long as he doesn't take any more damage like in that first exchange, then he's fine. I would say that you're even happy just taking the damage that he took there as well. And yep, that's going to be the first round. He did spend the super duper there, so he doesn't have it going into the rest of the game. So that's a resource that is gone. But he was able to get the round, and so now any round here he's able to. It's one kill, and he's sitting pretty in grand finals. Oh, that was a pretty rough DP there. He took a lot of damage. That's definitely going to put the situation really heavily in Lightice's favor. And you see him just now reaching out with pokes, throwing out the mediums. Oh, that was a good DP as well. And just getting the punishes there. And that's going to be the round. And they're going to the final round here in this match. We still do have match point for Vato, so he is pretty comfortable with the odds of getting reverse swept is always pretty low. But unfortunately, that kind of thing has happened a couple of times here. So you can see Vato playing very carefully, very mindful of what could happen there. He kind of brushed off that whiff DP there as well. And you see he's just trying to kind of block any options that Lightice could have, like taking to the air or anything like that. Lots of light slashes, but true to the style that Lightice has had, he's throwing out a lot of those kind of heavier, meteor moves, looking for any opportunity that he can to do kind of bigger damage. Oh, another missed throw. And those represent a lot of damage there for Lightice. The fact that he was able to miss that throw and keep going was very important. So now any hit will kill Vato and put a point on the board here for Lightice. But he does have Eason. If he were to just kind of catch... It was a big risk there. He was just looking for a way the time that he'd catch Lightice sleeping at the wheel, and he just didn't. So we're going to go down. That's 2-1. Still in Vato's favor. Vato definitely does have a game to give still. But the situation's very spooky here, especially given that in all of these matches, they've been pretty close, as well as that the damage coming out of Lightice seems to be a lot more consistently high than it tends to be coming from Vato. So here we see like that this life lead kind of reflects that point. When Lightice has the momentum, the damage that he's doing is just quite a bit higher than the damage that Vato is going to end up doing here. So it's more of like a death by 1,000 cuts for Vato, but Lightice needs like 4. So the first round goes down, and this is very quickly turning into a spooky situation here for Vato, particularly kind of given the history between the players as well. But Vato doesn't seem to be letting it really affect him too much. He's taking a pretty good lead here in the first round here, getting quite a bit of damage off. It's about half of Lightice's health gone, and he's handling the neutral like very, very well. Not throwing out too much DPs, not throwing out very many throws because they represented a lot of damage before. And the weapon flip is going to put Vato into a really, really good situation. He can just stand on top of Lightice's swords. If he tries to pick him up, he gets cut across that chest. And we are at match point again for Vato. So I think here, yep, you can already see that he's taking it real slow. Just trying not to give Lightice too many opportunities, especially while he has his weapon flip available. That could end up being a heavy, heavy lead for Lightice. It's great damage got dealt there at the beginning. Just a little bit more, just chipping away at his health, making sure that Vato's in full control of the neutral game here. And the longer this goes, where Vato's just chipping away, kind of keeping the health lead, the more things that Lightice still have to worry about. There's still the Eason, which means that weapon flip is going to be available here. Virtually at any point, Vato is going to be able to escape any type of like kind of heavy pressure that he just doesn't want to take, as well as have a large damage dealer available to him as well. So every time that he chips away a little bit, every little bits of health that increases the health lead, it brings those things just closer to being kind of death conditions for Lightice, as well as the timer running down. Lightice has to play more and more aggressive the less time that he has. So now he has 10 seconds to not only bridge the gap in the health lead, but find a way to do like some kind of massive damage as well. That missed throw was a big opportunity here, but with 3 seconds left, Vato just has to keep him away. And you see he's just using the light slashes. Eason is used to stop the timer, but that whiff DP, I actually think that whiff DP, if he didn't use Eason, he actually could have done quite a bit with, but I think that Vato's probably happy here, just blocking, letting the timer run out. And there you go. That's going to be Vato in the winner's side of Grand Finals. And Lightice is going to be in the loser's finals, waiting for